is ready for a makeover! Oh my goodness. Up next, you have to see this before and after.
It's not that sort of stigmatizing sort of pug look that you think when you think of cosmetic surgery of the 80s and 90s.
Story to share with you right now, and this is the story of Joan, who is ready for a change and flew all the way from Nova Scotia to meet with Dr. Mulholland. The results are incredible. Take a look.
Hello, I'm Joan. I'm from Nova Scotia, and I'm off to Toronto to have a procedure done, and I'm very excited about it. Well, I would just like to look a little bit fresher and not so tired looking, and just a little bit younger.
Joan, hello. Good
hello.
to see you.
Thank you.
I look forward to our date today.
Oh, but I am looking really forward to it.
I turn back the clock on the areas that bother you.
Mm-hmm.
The jowl and the neck,
mm-hmm.
around the mouth and the lines, the tiredness and droopiness around the eyes.
Okay.
Our goal, 60 years old, appearing fresh, natural, and youthful, okay?
Fantastic.
Well, Joan represents a little atypical type of patient. She's 74 years old. A lot of the patients that we've had on Cityline over the last 16, 17 years have started a little earlier, in their 40s, with a little tweak here, a little tweak there, in their 50s. So hence the radical makeover. When you wait that long, it's hard not to look like you've done something. It's hard to convey that we're not tweaking one little room at a time, which I always advocate. Do something in your 40s, something in your 50s, something in your 60s, so it's not so big in your 70s. If you wait till you don't renovate any rooms, we have to tear the whole house down and build it again. And so although, yes, a scalpel, a good old-fashioned surgeon's scalpel is a part of it, using telescopes, using tighteners, using lasers, we can really create a natural, layered look that doesn't look over-pulled anymore. It just looks nice.
I wasn't sure that I was going to do this, and I thought, I'm going to do it. And I thought, nope, I'm not going to do it. And then I finally made up my mind, and once I made up my mind, I was happy. The initial part of it was over very quickly, and I felt good about that. But I'm so happy I did it now. I feel really good about it.
Wish we had the microphones on when everybody here in the studio watched that before and after. So Dr. Steve Mulholland, give him a big hand. Great work. You've got to be proud of that.
It is a lot of fun, and it's rewarding when you get someone like Joan, who has really waited a long time, 4 decades, to do something she really wanted to do. And yeah, it just gives her a different projection, different look, different feel. Yeah.
Incredible. Okay, so Joan comes to you. She's 74 years old. She hasn't had a lick of anything done. And so her recovery time, it took a while. The procedure was in July. Didn't really do the follow-up, the after shots until November. Why such a long recovery? Is that all? Does that have to do with age?
Partly do with age. You know, as we age, our tissues tend to be less. They recover less quickly. So usually, I'll say if we can do something that major, it's 6 weeks till you feel reasonably comfortable in makeup, but 6 months till you're comfortable in your skin again, and you stop thinking about it. So you know, it's a big decision in your 70s. Number one, you got to make sure someone's healthy, physically fit to have a procedure that's 4 or 5 hours long, and it's just unusual nowadays to, in my practice, see someone in their 70s that's done nothing. No Botox, no filler, no skincare, just go to old East Coast salt water air, and that's it.
Right. Well, you know, there's probably, you don't see any of those people because of the line of work you're in, but there's probably more people than you would think. We want to talk a little bit about what procedures you might want to consider that in your 30s and 40s and 50s, but I want to know more about Joan.
Sure.
Because she looks amazing. What did you do?
With Joan, because she hadn't done any tweaks in her 30s, 40s, or 50s, or 60s, it was really, if you think of your face as the top floor, which is the eyes and the brow, the middle floor, and all the rooms in that floor, which is your cheek and your mouth, the bottom floor, the basement, your neck, we really renovated the whole house, which was all floors. And so, let's say in your 30s, early 40s, if women are predisposed to doing plastic surgery, they're often recovering their body from children, from childbirth. Right. And often it's repositioning the tummy, recapturing breast shape and form and figure if diet and exercise don't work.
Right.
In the late 40s, it's often about the eyes, the window to the soul, and the sagginess betrays that soul to some extent, and so it's eye work. In the 50s, often little cheek and mouth work, and maybe in the 60s, maybe a little neck work. So you never look like you've done anything. No recovery is usually more than about 2 weeks, and at the end of it, you just always look yourself, but maybe 10 years younger than your chronological age.
I think what's very cool about Joan, if you take a look at this picture here, is that you were mentioning in the tape, because of the procedures you can do now with laser, she doesn't look pulled.
Yeah, and that's
so what did you use with her to not give her that? She doesn't look done.
I use a lot of little telescopes to reposition the brow and the cheek on the side with a little pull. But in that central oval of our face, above and below the eyes, around the mouth, judicious replacement of volume, because often as we age, there's that loss of air out of the balloon. Bring that some volume. The high-tech lasers now give us smooth skin, so it's not that sort of stigmatizing sort of pulled look that you think when you think of cosmetic surgery of the 80s and 90s. It can be very, very natural. And if you look at Hollywood, almost no one is not doing something, and the best people look like they've never done anything, but they look perpetually amazing.
So did Joan get a whole face lift?
So she did. We did her brow, her upper lid, lower lid, her cheek, her mouth, her neck, and her neckline. But the whole central T-zone of her face, the upper, lower lid, cheek, and through the mouth, I transferred some fat grafting with little stem cells. We did high-tech lasers. On the tape, there was a little device that tightens the skin. So I try to recruit the skin to tighten itself rather than rely on pulling too much. It usually all comes together quite predictably and really quite in a quite lovely way if it's done strategically and artistically.
Now, when you use procedures like the ones that you've described, is it less invasive?
Yeah, so I would say that to do a big makeover like this is less invasive than it's ever been. But again, when you wait till 74, we still have to dispose of some extra skin. If you do little tweaks in your 30s and 40s, it's not always an excisional experience. You can get beautiful skin now with high-tech lasers and different, Botox and Juvederm and all these things we have now. You don't ever have to have a surgery to look 5, 6, 7 years fresher than your chronological age might be.
Okay, well, let's talk about different skin types out there. Skin tends to age differently depending on what ethnicity you are, what race you are. So are there certain concerns with, say, the Asian population or blacks? Like, what do you need to worry about when you've got different skin?
So I would divide skin types into two groups. There's the lighter skin types, typically North European. We tend to those skin types tend to age with fine lines and wrinkles and laxity and sun damage and discoloration, basically everything. It's deflation, deterioration, descent. I call it 3D aging, the 3 Ds of growing old.
Sorry.
And so with the thinner skin types, the lighter skin types, we're often replacing volume, tweaking wrinkles with lasers, using a little Botox, throwing away stuff. In the darker skin types, generally the darker skin types have thicker skin, rarely present with wrinkles. Often it's about brown discoloration or acne scars and sometimes some laxity around the jaw and the neck. So two different types of problems totally, and you have to address them differently. And the wound healing characteristics of darker skin tend towards more scarring, that's more visible. You really have to hide things in a stealth sort of plastic surgery mode with darker skin, because what if the scar doesn't heal properly?
Like what if you've got the keloid, right?
Yeah.
And
so
all of that.
You hide everything inside the ear and behind the ear, so only your hairdresser knows for sure. And if you're really good, they don't even know.
So you can still get everything done regardless of what shade, complexion, color you are. It's just you've got to worry about that from a physician's perspective.
Correct.
As to how you're going to hide these things. Okay, so everybody can do anything.
Again, the darker skin types, you've got to be careful with certain lasers you might use in lighter skin types because there's so much melanin, which attracts the laser light. But again, a good trained plastic surgeon will know these issues around darker skin and deal with them appropriately.
From those skin types that you just mentioned, are any of those more likely to have issues with things like acne?
The acne-scarred and acne-prone skin types tend to be lighter skin types, those with rosacea and red skin issues, and they get the sebaceous unit, which is the thing at the base of the hair follicle, tends to get inflamed and give acne. Unfortunately, if darker skin types, Asian or black skin, gets acne, it tends to leave more visible scarring. So yeah, lighter skin types tend to be more red and acne prone. The darker skin types more brown discoloration prone and little black growths and lumps and bumps.
Okay, so it's a new year. You know, we've all eaten a lot, we drank a lot, we spent all of our money. So maybe we're looking for a little bit of a new look. If someone wanted a bit of a touch-up, just a little bit of a tweak to get that new year started right, what would you recommend?
I divide into body and face, and first of all, diet and exercise always. Diet and exercise first. Then for body issues, the Zerona laser is still one of the most popular ways to slim down 3 or 4 inches. Generally, in an 8-week program, we can guarantee 3 inches over multiple pinch points will be gone. And then there's other focal sculpt, non-invasive, non-liposuction ways to melt the fat.
How does Zerona work? Does that hurt? Does it hurt? I always ask you that first. Does it hurt?
No pain. And we did a show on that last year, I believe, or last year. It's a cold laser system where you lie under and they rotate, and it facilitates the movement of triglyceride and free fatty acids out of your fat cells, basically.
Okay.
Works well.
All right.
And now on the face, then,
face.
things like photo rejuvenation, little intense pulse light on your skin, some Botox, a little bit of Juvederm, and those 3 little simple things, laser, filler, and a little bit of toxin, can really refresh you without any downtime. Usually I do those things on a Friday. Women are back to work on a Monday looking great. Again, not, oh, who injected your face? You have this giant filler face.
Right.
It should be more, wow, you look rested. You know, you look great. Those are the comments you want.
You don't want to walk into work and people call you filler face.
That's bad.
No.
Definitely bad.
It's a bad day at work, right? Thank you so much, Steve. Everyone is going to be taking home this gift bag full of products. This is courtesy of Dr. Mulholland, including an optimal eye and lip makeup remover, a hyaluronic cream, and a $100 gift card to SpaMedica. Enjoy!